All right, so second quarter is officially done. I can't believe it. Where has that time gone? So it's that time of the year, end of second quarter, where we're going to do the second quarter wrap up, and we're going to talk about everything that we talked about in the second quarter coming up.
Welcome to Industrial Sage, a free video podcast series all about digital marketing for industrial manufacturers. Hear interviews with your peers and find out how they're solving the same challenges that you might be facing in your own field. Coming to you from the Optimum Production Studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is Industrial Sage.
Hey, Danny Gonzalez here with Industrial Sage. Hey, before we jump into today's episode, I got a question for you. Do you have a solid digital marketing content plan? Or do you have questions around that? Well, listen, we've got a really great, free, awesome tool for you. It's our Digital Marketing Content Planner. It's a download that is a very comprehensive plan on how to take all of your digital marketing content, look at your personas, look at your calls to action, look at your strategy, and take everything that you have on your whiteboard or maybe in your head and really crystallize it and put it together in a very actionable format. So if you're interested in this, you can go to industrialsage.com/digital-content-planner, and you get access to this free tool, and we'll even send you a 10-minute free guide on how to walk through and set it up. So I don't want to delay any further. Let's jump into today's episode. All right, so a lot happened in second quarter. Many things, and it's all a big blur to me. Maybe if you're one of the most notable things, I actually had baby number 4. Yes, I have 4 children now. I think I have 4. Yeah, I have 4. And the latest one, little Rosie, she was actually born right the day before MODEX, and we took Industrial Sage on the road and did MODEX there. So, and that was not that long ago. So things have been a little crazy. So today's recap, we're going to go over a couple different things. And the first thing, one of the most notable ones here was Mathias Konne from Eurokera. And he talked about the importance of brand. And this is something that I think is really, really important. It's been interesting, too. It's been one of the most watched episodes this quarter. And 100% honest with you, I did not think that was going to be the case. Not because I didn't like what Mathias did. He's awesome. But the message really resonated. I had a misperception. This was my misperception, was that, I don't know, that people really think that, in manufacturing industrial space, by and large, are super like concerned about brand. Maybe not. I was wrong. So this episode, Mathias breaks things down and really talks about the importance of brand and how they started having zero marketing, and that was the first thing they focused on.
We had all kinds of different collaterals, brochures, and little, little spec sheets and all kinds of stuff. I mean, you name it, and they were all one thing that really hurts your company and your brand. I think is when you have all these things, and they all have a different visual aspect. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we even had like different logos. I mean, some of the logos were in different colors. I mean, there's some things that may sound crazy to some businesses. Sure. Yeah. But I'm sure in the B2B world, it's not that uncommon for companies, to have that kind of issue. So one of the first things that we did was, sort of bring cohesion into that. Mm-hmm. It takes a while to get there, but so this is sort of like one of the first things that we started doing is, create a new website that was matching the image that we wanted the company to convey. If you have different looks, if you have different colors, if you have different fonts, if you have different images or people using low-res images or, at the end, even if you don't do that intentionally, but you're hurting the company's image. Mm-hmm. So if you're a very professional, highly technical company, well, you sort of want to show your products in the professional manner. Right. So that adds to that too, definitely.
That makes a lot of sense.
To me, it's just the same. You can sort of take the example of, if you have 1 million people yelling 1 million words, different words, well, you're not going to understand anything. But now if you have 1 million people, yelling one word, well, that's going to be pretty loud, and then you can ignore it. So that's what I think a cohesive brand does.
All right, one of the other greatest episodes that we had here was Bhaskar Chopra from Siemens, and he really kind of walked through from a sales side Some tips and some strategies, some really easily forgotten things that I know that I forget quite often. Best practices and tips for presentation skills when you're giving presentations, whether that's internally or externally. And so you walk through some really key tips, some really interesting things. The one that still sticks out to me is talking about when you go and you present to people and you ask them, hey, anything you want to cover? They tell you, you write it on a whiteboard and you address it there. It really makes it dynamic. That stuck with me. We have a few other little bites here that might stick with you.
You can sometimes get a very good idea for what that audience really cares about. More often than not, though, a lot of people will come into a meeting, or you may have extra people coming to a meeting that have their own individual goals and challenges in mind. What I do like to do is before I start any type of presentation, especially for a smaller crowd, like less than 10 people, where I'm doing like a lunch and learn or something, I'll go around the room. I'll take a legitimate 5 minutes and say, here, I'm Bhaskar, here's what I do. Who are you? What do you do? Why do you care about Siemens? Why do you care about VFDs? Why do you care about material handling? Tell me your experience and what you care about, and I'll write those things down on a board too. Ideally, there should be a whiteboard there. That'd be fun. Or you can just write it down anywhere, just to keep in mind what their goals out of this meeting are. And I did this for a customer in Marietta like a year ago. And I made sure to write all of those down in plain English so that they could see it too.
Yeah.
So they knew I really did care about it. Everyone cares about it, but just to make sure that they understand that we are going to get to every single one of these things.
Yeah.
I went through my presentation, answered probably half of them, and then I said, the remaining people, you guys obviously still have these questions. Would you mind if I took 15 minutes and found a different presentation to kind of address these other topics? They didn't care. They welcomed it. They wanted it. It buys you some extra time to do other stuff that, as long as they know you're going to answer your questions, that's really all it comes down to.
All right, and one of the later episodes was with Judson Voss from Chart Industries, and talked about the importance of inbound marketing, whether it was really vital for manufacturers or not. And well, the short answer is yes, it really is. And so he really kind of walked through and shed some light on sort of Chart's story on how they discovered why they needed it, and then they implemented it, and what they're implementing and how they're using it. It's very, very valuable to get that insider perspective of what they're doing and how they're using it. Here's a couple snippets. Very much what we're going to be talking about today is really this like inbound marketing, digital marketing. Like, what is that? Well, from your standpoint, what would you define that as? Like, what is it?
What is inbound marketing?
What is inbound marketing?
Yeah. To me, regardless of whether you're looking at digital, analog, whatever it is,
Right, yeah.
Inbound is trying to figure out a way to get people to find you and to come into what we call this proverbial funnel.
Yeah.
To have a way to interact with you. But nowadays, it's really coming to a website, coming to some digital property somewhere, social media, whatever it is, to get more information about your brand, about your product, about how you operate, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I'm curious. So, how long has Chart actually been using some sort of inbound marketing for, and what was that tipping point where they said, we kind of need to go into this and start moving in this direction?
From a digital perspective, probably for the last 5 years, something like that.
Yeah.
You talk about a tipping point. I remember I was actually out at a brewery talking to some folks, guys in their late 20s, early 30s that own this brewery, really smart business guys too, by the way.
Yeah.
And I just said, hey, off the cuff, I said, you guys were sold by us.
Right, yeah.
What was that experience, and what things can we improve on? And they said, well, first of all, your video and the way you draw people into your site from our perspective really sucks. So I said, hey, there's something. Maybe if I dig deeper, there's something I could look at there.
And last but not least, how could we forget MODEX? MODEX was crazy, and it was awesome. 4 days, a huge trade show. I think there was 30,000 people there. It was awesome. We took IndustrialSage out on the road, did man on the street style. Haven't done that this year. And so we did that, and it was awesome. We talked to well over 30 or 40 companies, interviewed about 27 of them. All those interviews you can still go see under the MODEX page. We'll put a link in the show notes here where you can take a look at those. And we're just going to pull a couple snippets from those. What we did there is we really talked about the companies to get an understanding of what they were rolling out with, those new products and innovations, and what they were presenting at MODEX. And then we followed up with getting information about what their top marketing tactics and strategies were. It's really just kind of a boots on the ground type of approach, just to get a sense of what they're doing. And we put that together. Even had a little ebook where you could download and look at that. So take a look at that. We've got a couple snippets here for you, and enjoy.
Hey there, it's Joseph from IndustrialSage. I'm here in Atlanta at the 2018 MODEX, and it's a great, exciting environment. We're very happy to be here with Doug. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. So tell me about how you're enjoying MODEX so far and some of the exciting things that Cardex has to show.
So it's been great so far. Having a lot of people visit the booth, a lot of activity. Thing I'm most excited about is our new LR35 vertical buffer module. It's a new product that we brought to the market recently.
And that's right. What's right behind us right now?
Right behind us right now, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about that.
So it's our first entry into a tote-based system. So everything else, every other machine that we've done historically, everything that we do is all shelf-based delivery. So we deliver a whole shelf or a whole tray of product. This is our first entry into a tote-based system. We're delivering a discrete tote of a product. So more controlled access than what we've done traditionally.
Okay. And how are you? Are you excited to move into that space? Is that something that you found was a huge need of your current customers, or just a new space that you're moving into?
Yeah, it really opens up a couple new applications for us. One being buffer storage. So any kind of work in process or manufacturing environment where they have a need to buffer totes along the way. This machine is naturally fits to that. Also for like e-commerce or distribution applications for order picking, this machine lends itself very well to that.
Great. So it's probably a very much needed service, bringing a lot of efficiency to the process. What kind of things are you doing to spread the word and get some more information out to your audience about this?
Yep. So we're doing obviously we're doing shows like MODEX, which gets a lot of visibility. We're actually able to show the physical machine, which has a big impact because it's obviously a big machine. Doing a lot of marketing, a lot of campaigning for this equipment. Also talking to a lot of integrators, so a lot of integrators that sell this type of equipment, doing a lot of marketing and co-branding through them.
Okay, great. Are you doing any type of digital marketing in that space?
Oh yeah, we do a lot of digital marketing. Absolutely.
Okay, using like a CRM or any automated marketing, or what kind of things do you have going on?
So we do both. We have an in-house CRM system, and then we do a lot of, we actually just started over the last year doing a lot of automation in the marketing area, doing a lot of campaigns and things like that. And lead nurturing and stuff through marketing.
That's great. It's a great way to keep track of, and especially as you go to a trade show like this, and you're meeting a lot of different people. There can be a lot of clutter, and throughout several months afterwards, it's really important to keep in touch with them.
Absolutely.
So automation really comes in handy there.
Yep.
Are you finding it to be something very effective, or is there another method that you are finding that's more effective, or maybe one of your favorite tools to use?
No, I think it's been very effective so far. We're still kind of on the kind of new to it, so we're still kind of learning how that can work for us. Working with some third-party people that are kind of experts in this area, but so far it's been extremely effective.
All right, that's great. I'm happy to hear that. And if Doug, if anybody wants to find any more information from you about Cardex or any products that we've talked about today, what's the best way to reach you?
Probably the best way would be to reach us on cardexremstar.com on our website. And they can also, reach me directly.
All right, great. And you got an email address that you would like to share?
Yeah, sure. So douglas.card@cardex.com.
All right, great. Thank you. Well, Doug, good luck for the rest of the week, and it was a pleasure to speak with you.
Yeah, pleasure as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
All right, okay, so I'm here with Dee with SI Systems MODEX 2018. Dee, thanks so much for joining us. So who are you guys? Like, what do you...
Warehouse management. We have A-frames, robotic A-frames, mobile MODEX that you see here, ugly AGVs, tow lines. We can help you move your stuff around your warehouse.
That's awesome. Okay, all right, so what is your big thing that you're showcasing here at MODEX today?
Today we have the robotic mobile MODEX. It's the fastest picker that you can possibly have to get your stuff out. Would you like to see a demonstration?
I would love to see a demonstration. How does this work? Let's see. All right. All right, so I'm going to narrate this because I've got the mic here. So it looks like Dee is going to put in lots of things. Oh, we got a tote here. It's coming in on the belt. There we go. We got a little beep, and it's going through the sorter. Oh, look at that. And it's kicking out all kinds of things. It's really like a vending machine on steroids.
2,000 items per hour. No one can pick that fast. You'd have to have Superman picking that fast. Our machine can do that for you.
That's pretty awesome. That's super exciting. So, we saw a cool demo of it here just a minute ago. Tell me a little bit now, what's your go-to market strategy with this? I mean, obviously you guys have probably been around for a little bit. You have existing customers, but what does that look like?
Well, we have partners that we work with, some 3PLs. We have been sending out a lot of newsletters and email blasts. So we're just trying to get the word out there. It will really change your picking life and save you lots of money in employees.
That's awesome. I can see that very clearly here. So my last question would be, what are your top 3 marketing tactics? You mentioned a few here that you said you email, but what would you say would be the top 3?
Our partners are our best. The word of mouth, the partners working with you, knowing exactly what it can do, that's our best marketing right there. Okay. They're the best for us.
So what are the other 2 then? What would you say, you're trying to develop relationships with new partners. Actually, let me ask you this. Do you guys work directly, exclusively through distributors and partners, or do you do direct sales?
We sell to the end user also. So, we just started a social media campaign. So I love social media. I love hashtagging, and I'm hoping it's going to pull in somebody else that would be a direct end user.
Well, there's an episode that we talked about on social media. There's another group called MXT Process out of Louisville, Kentucky. I'll send it to you. They talk about how they use social media, and they've been very successful with it. So.
Great.
Yeah, but social media actually really can work. It does well.
I completely believe in it. Yes.
So, all right, what would you say would be your 3rd tactic?
Newsletters. We write newsletters, and we keep in touch with all of our clients and anyone who wants to hear about what we're making and what we're doing.
Right, and I think that's really smart because you're going to talk to a lot of people here today who aren't necessarily ready to buy. So what's going to happen to all those leads and those people that you've had meaningful conversations with, but it's just not the right time? If you've got a newsletter or something to be able to keep top of mind, doesn't mean they're necessarily going to read all, because the chances are they're not.
We are in constant contact.
Oh, there you go. That sounds like another product I've heard of somewhere. But there's a reason for that. That's great. So, well, awesome. Well, congratulations on a really cool innovation, really cool product here. And it sounds like you had some pretty good success here at MODEX.
We had a great show. We had a lot of people stop by. We got a lot of names. It was a great show for us.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you.
And check us out on IndustrialSage. Oh, last question. I always forget this. I always forget. If somebody would love to learn more about your product or learn more about your company, what's the best way of reaching you?
www.sihs.com.
All right. Go to the website if you want to learn more about the vending machine on steroids. All right.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
All right, so I'm here with Guy with Infor. We're here at MODEX 2018. We're very excited about this. So tell me, Guy, what are you guys rolling out with? What's that new innovation that you guys are bringing to market here at MODEX?
Yeah, Danny, really excited to be here at MODEX. I was going to say hot Atlanta, but it's not been as hot as it should be. So
no, it's very cold.
It's very cold, actually. Yeah, I was going to bring an overcoat, but no, we're excited to be here. The big thing that we're rolling out, or that we're trying to showcase at the event this year, is really our new thinking around the warehouse and the role the warehouse plays in today's retail, B2B, B2C economy. And what does that mean, right? The warehouse is no longer sort of a cost center. It's becoming a strategic part of your overall supply chain and your business. And it's no longer sort of a siloed entity within your supply chain. It has to be networked. It has to be tied together. Your supply chain, your warehouse, all that is where your inventory flows. And therefore, you have to have true visibility of that inventory, whether it's in one warehouse, 10 warehouses, 22 warehouses across different states, different countries, and all that. So we're really excited to talk more about that aspect and what we're offering in that space.
Awesome. Is there any particular product offering that you're rolling out with this here at MODEX?
I don't think there's any one particular product. I think Infor Retail is pretty big in terms of what we're offering, but I think we're just really focusing on that key element of the warehouse, supply chain visibility, within how we as consumers are asking our supply chains to respond to our needs. So I would say there's not one specific product. It's really more of a strategy and a long-term vision about what we're going to do in that space. So we're really excited about that.
Excellent. So on that note, what is your go-to-market strategies? A little bit more of an intentional focus on warehousing and the connected warehouse, if you will. What's some of the strategies that you're employing on that from a sales and marketing standpoint?
It's a challenge, right? We all want to get our message out there and talk about how our stuff is better than someone else's or has differentiation. So I think for us, it's not to be cliche, but it's a lot of blocking and tackling. Right? There's no magic bullet. right? So what we're looking at is doing like this, like coming to a great event like this and meeting customers and having discussions. We're looking at things like talking to you, right? Getting our word out there and podcasting.
That's scary.
It is scary, isn't it? We expect a lot of leads from this conversation. I know, sorry, no pressure. But putting out things, like obviously white papers, we do our own podcast. But just really at the end of the day, it sounds cliched, but it's a people business, right? We got to go out there and we got to meet people. We got to sell this stuff. We got to show them why we deserve to have them talk to us more and to do more with us. So it's exciting, but it's a challenge, right? There's a lot of great companies in this hall that we are competing with or partnering with, and it's really up to us to earn the trust of a potential customer to spend their time and hopefully their money with us.
I love that. It's trust. It is. Like you said, you hear it's people business, but you got all this new technology, always great things. But at the end of the day, it's really connecting with that customer. I think that you hit nail on the head.
Yeah. And it's it's everything from us as consumers and the way retail handle things, having trust with us, to doing this, right? Selling to enterprise and stuff it's the trust. And I think there's a lot of tools out there to build the trust. And we just need to be sensitive about that, how we do it, and how we respect customers, and how we earn that trust. And I think we do a fairly good job, and we need to keep doing that, and we need to keep working on it. And I think that's exciting. It's a daunting task, and it's a huge responsibility. And I think we're up for the task. So we're looking forward to continuing that process with our customers and prospects.
Awesome. Last question. So what would you say your top 3 marketing tactics are?
Wow, top 3 marketing tactics. And I don't think there's any particular order in it. Sure. But I think one is around social. We all need to have a social strategy. I think it's no longer, whether it's Twitter or podcast or blogs or things, it's no longer a nice to have. It's no longer, well, that's only for me on Instagram sharing pictures of the Bloody Mary I had on Sunday. No, it's how you build that trust, how you build that relationship. So I think having a social media strategy is one. I think 2 is having a really dynamic content strategy. What I mean by that is, no longer are we only dependent upon analysts or the press for our information. We look to people like us to share big ideas, and we want to engage with you to share big ideas. So what I mean by that is, if I write good content that is about ideas and sharing those ideas, and not just selling, not just a brochureware, I build trust, right? So that's number 2. And number 3, I think it's the old-fashioned, just like this. Getting out there, meeting people, talking to people, building a relationship, being able to talk and look people in the eye and say, you know what, we can't do that, or we're not the best equipped for that, but we could do this, or we could do that. So I think those are the 3 big things. Back to people, social media, I think that's a huge aspect, and just good, rich, real content, right? Not brochureware stuff. We all know brochure and advertising, we need to have that, but to really have a good foundational marketing aspect, I think you need to have that, hey, share ideas. We're all smart people. Like, we want to learn from each other. How do we do that?
Oh man, I love it, absolutely. I think we're getting these social cues here.
Yeah, I think we're just like last call
it's
of the
closing
ball, right?
time.
Yeah, it's closing
They're going
time.
to start playing semisonic
Yeah,
song here
exactly,
in just a
exactly.
bit. So thanks so much for your time, Guy. I really enjoyed your insights, and if anybody would like to learn more about you and Infor, what's the best way of reaching?
By all means, just go to our website, www.infor.com, or you can follow me on Twitter. It is @GCourtin, so GCourtin on Twitter. Please do follow me or DM me, and we'll love to chat.
Awesome. We're going to follow you today. Awesome. This is awesome. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And that basically wraps it up for this second quarter. And one other big thing is that we are celebrating our 1-year birthday anniversary. It's very exciting. If you would have told me a year ago that I'd be sitting here a year from now, I don't know. I don't know if I would have believed you. It's been a really interesting and really fun and exciting ride. We're super excited and looking forward to IndustrialSage coming. We're going to be ratcheting things up a little bit more. We're going to be pumping out some more content out there. We're actually actively looking for contributors to come in to be able to help to provide more insights and more information inside the IndustrialSage community. So if that's something you would love to be a part of, if you just love, eat, and breathe sales and marketing for the manufacturing industrial space, reach out to us. Let us know. We've got a contributor page at IndustrialSage.com. You can put your information in there. We're always looking for guests, and we're going to be looking for contributors to help to really build this awesome community and really just help people to drive revenue with digital marketing. So I'm signing off. This is the end of this episode. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us, IndustrialSage.com/questions. And if you would love listening to this, if you're a first-time listener, hey, subscribe. You can subscribe on the website. We send you this email every single Monday morning at like 6 a.m. Eastern. And we have content out all the time. And we love it. Share it on social media properties, reviews on iTunes. We're on iTunes as well if you're not listening. But if you are listening on iTunes, we have a website too, IndustrialSage.com. Man, it's been a long second quarter. You guys have a good one. Thanks.